I spent hundreds of millions to build up my girlfriend's career, and at the awards ceremony, she publicly announced her relationship, except her boyfriend wasn't me, but the very man who had once tried to harm her. I immediately made a call. Her role in the new movie was cut. My girlfriend Bai Ningbing was winning the Best Actress award while I was in a hotel room with clients. On the TV in the private room, the 29th Golden Pig Award ceremony was playing. This year's Golden Pig Award for Best Actress goes to Bai Ningbing. I held back my excitement and pulled out my phone to text her. "Congratulations, baby, you're the best. I'll tell you something tonight when you get back." I was planning to propose that night, and it was also time to tell Bai Ningbing my true identity. But before I could send the message, I heard Bai Ningbing deliver her acceptance speech in her beautiful voice. "Thank you to my team, my fans, and the person I'm most grateful for, my boyfriend." My lips couldn't help curving into the biggest smile. But the next second, I heard her say, "Thank you to my boyfriend, Fu Hao. He accompanied me from bit parts to where I am today. He encouraged me, supported me, and made this difficult journey a little happier." On stage, she was crying with emotion. In the private room, I was sitting speechless. My name wasn't Fu Hao. Bai Ningbing had gotten to where she was entirely because I had poured resources behind her back. Afraid of hurting her pride, I never told her, and I even asked my friends to keep it from her. For this award, the organizers had originally favored another actress, but I spent money and personally entertained clients to secure it for her. In the 3 years we were together, apart from one supporting role, she had played nothing but leads, and even that supporting role was a well-written second female lead. That's what she called difficult. I was about to confront her when I got a text from Bai Ningbing's agent. "You fun. He Ming, don't come looking for Ningbing anymore. She's out of your league now." Thinking back, when I told Bai Ningbing yesterday that I couldn't make it to the ceremony because I had something to do, she seemed to breathe a sigh of relief. I had originally planned to be there in person to watch her win, but that dinner was too important. It affected the group's expansion into new markets, so I had to attend. "Boss, the organizers are asking if you're going to the gala dinner?" My assistant stepped out to take a call and came back to ask quietly. I waved my hand. "I'm not going. Go home and throw away all those things." I was going back to my parents' house. The home I had personally decorated for the proposal. I never wanted to see it again. Suddenly broken up with, I needed a place to collect myself. Then Bai Ningbing sent me a message. "He Ming, considering I've supported you for these years, let's part on good terms. I'll transfer 100,000 yuan to you later as a breakup fee. You should stop relying on women." I laughed in anger. "You've been supporting me? 100,000 yuan breakup fee." It seemed I had to attend that gala after all. As soon as I arrived at the gala, Yufan pulled me aside. "How did you get in? Didn't I tell you not to come looking for Ningbing? If you dare say anything, Ningbing can destroy you in an instant." Yufan glared at me ferociously. She had risen with her star, exuding a nouveau riche arrogance, her head held high. "Destroy me? You do know we live in a society with laws, don't you?" I lowered my eyes, took a glass of champagne from the table, and took a sip. "So what if it's a lawful society? Our Ningbing is now the youngest Golden Pig Award winner. She'll have everything she wants. Don't you dare ruin her future. You're her agent. Don't you know where her resources come from?" I looked at Yufan and smiled. I was too good at hiding it before. Every time there was an opportunity, I arranged for people to negotiate with producers and directors first, set everything up, and then let them go to Yufan. That gave her the wrong impression. Another voice chimed in. "He Ming, why are you here? Where did you rent that suit? You look decent, but leave quickly. Don't embarrass Ningbing." I looked over. It was Bai Ningbing's close friend in the industry, Chun Yu. Bai Ningbing had brought me to dinner with her a few times, and Chun Yu had always looked down on me. Women always think no one is good enough for their best friend, so I understood. I smiled calmly. "I came in with an invitation, of course." Chun Yu burst out laughing, and Yufan laughed just as brazenly, as if I told a joke. I took out my invitation. They laughed even harder. "Your invitation is black? Ours are all orange. You can't even fake it properly. Did you climb in through a window?" Yufan laughed so hard she bent over. "My invitation was a special one made by the organizers, the only one of its kind. They hadn't seen it before, so their reaction was understandable." I didn't want to argue with them anymore, nor did I want to bother calling the organizers to verify it. I just wanted to find Bai Ningbing and ask her how she could throw away 3 years of our relationship so easily. "He Ming, weren't you kicked out by Ningbing? Did you come here specially to bless us?" So he was Fu Hao. I looked at the man approaching. I had seen him before 3 years ago. That day, I was at a club drinking with some friends who had just returned from studying abroad. When I went to the restroom, I accidentally saw a girl being led into a private room by a man. Though I was a regular in the business world, I still had some sense of justice. I couldn't bear to see a girl being violated. The club owner happened to be one of my friends at that gathering, so I asked him to open the door. When the door opened, the girl's clothes were already half removed, and the man was down to his pants. My friend said he wouldn't allow such things in his establishment and drove the man away. The girl, wrapped in a blanket, sobbed softly on the bed. That girl was Bai Ningbing. After talking, we learned she had been in the industry for a year, mostly playing small supporting roles. Her agent had brought her to that dinner. She hadn't expected anything like this to happen. Her tearful appearance moved me. I had the man investigated and learned his name was Fu Hao, a rich second generation but far from our circle. Fearing that Bai Ningbing might have prejudices because of Fu Hao, I hid my identity and got close to her. We ended up together. I never imagined they had secretly gotten involved behind my back. Fu Hao was a few years older than me. After 3 years, his hairline had receded and his belly had grown. When did you two get together? I asked coldly. He Ming, you ruined my plans back then. What do you want now? Bai Ningbing looked flustered for a moment, asking quietly. Though I had already guessed that she had gone willingly that night, hearing it from her now still made it hard to believe. She had resented me for ruining her opportunity with Fu Hao back then, yet she still got together with me. Truly an actress. Bai Ningbing held out a bank card. If 100,000 is too little, here's another 200,000. Considering you're not bad looking, consider it payment for services rendered. I pushed the card back. 3 years of feelings are only worth this? Bai Ningbing looked disgusted. You're still not satisfied? I never knew you were this kind of person. Do you really think you got where you are today because of your acting skills? I put in a lot of effort to get you this award, I said coldly. She said, what nonsense are you talking about? Just a small employee like you can make a big difference. I was completely disappointed in her. If we break up, don't regret it. Of course she won't regret it. With me giving her resources, she'll only go further, Fu Hao said, putting his hand on Bai Ningbing's waist in a show of defiance. I watched Bai Ningbing, snuggled in Fu Hao's arms with a smug smile, and felt she was a stranger. She actually believed Fu Hao could give her resources. I shook my head, took out my phone, and made a call. From now on, stop following Bai Ningbing's developments. Whether she gets roles or wins awards is none of my business. Fu Hao laughed heartily again. What use is your attention? Can't give her resources. I'm taking Ningbing to meet director Su soon. I chuckled lightly, saying, Su Xiangqing has something to do today. He'll be late. Fu Hao's laughter stopped briefly, then he laughed even harder, clutching his stomach. He Ming, you probably don't know. We arranged to meet director Su at 10. I never knew you liked showing off so much. Ningbing also said, once I act in director Su's film, you'll be even more unworthy of me. Bai Ningbing gave me a disappointed look, then took Fu Hao's arm and walked up to the second floor of the banquet hall. I looked at my phone. A message from Su Xiangqing sent 5 minutes ago. Brother He Ming, my car got rear-ended, so I'll be a bit late. You have to wait for me. Don't leave. Su Xiangqing was a free-spirited artistic youth. I'd met him years ago abroad through a friend. Back then, he was down on his luck because he couldn't make money. According to him, I was his last hope. If I wouldn't invest, he'd have to make commercial films. Art films didn't need much investment, and I happened to admire him, so I gave him a little extra. That allowed his first film to be produced with high quality, and he went on to sweep awards at various film festivals. Since then, Su Xiangqing had become synonymous with winning awards. Actors fought tooth and nail to be in his films. I had recommended Bai Ningbing to him. He hadn't been keen on her at first, but he said he could create a suitable role for her out of respect for me. Su Xiangqing often said privately that everything he had was because of me. Since he asked me to wait, I found a quiet spot to drink. I usually kept a low profile and rarely attended banquets, since if someone recognized me and came to chat, that would be troublesome. I texted Su Xiangqing back, for your new film, you don't need to create a role for Bai Ningbing anymore. I put my phone away. Not long after, Fu Hao and Bai Ningbing came back. He Ming, how did you know director Su would be late? Who exactly are you? Fu Hao demanded. Hearing him finally ask that question, I smiled again. I told you I was invited. I invested in the film Bai Ningbing acted in, and the organizers gave me this invitation. Fu Hao looked at me oddly. There you go bragging again. Where would you get the money to invest? You must have used Ningbing's money, invested a few thousand in some low-budget film to sneak in. Ningbing also said, He Ming, I won't hold it against you for spending my money. Oh, and that apartment, remember to return it. Without me, you probably can't afford the 10,000 yuan rent. Bai Ningbing wore that disappointed look again. When she mentioned the apartment, I remembered the landlord wanted to sell it and I had already bought it. I hadn't touched a cent of the rent she paid me. I was planning to give it all back to her before the wedding. That apartment was small, but I knew Bai Ningbing liked it, so I never thought of moving. I knew whatever I said, these two wouldn't believe me. I picked up my glass and moved away from them. But then my assistant suddenly ran over. Boss, madam is furious at home. She says if you don't go on that blind date with Miss Zhou, you don't need to come home anymore. She's not welcoming you. My assistant looked at me while wiping sweat from his forehead. My mother really was something, scaring people like that. I had told her I had a girlfriend, but since she'd never met Bai Ningbing, she thought I was making it up. She'd always wanted me to find someone of equal status, saying it would be simpler and less troublesome. Every time she arranged a date, I refused. But now, I figured it wouldn't hurt to meet someone. I told my assistant, call home and tell her she can arrange it anytime. We'll talk details when I get back tonight. My assistant hurried off. Bai Ningbing rolled her eyes disdainfully. He Ming, you'd hire an extra just to save face? That makes me look down on you even more. Fu Hao is 100 times better than you. Boss? That acting was way too fake. The minute we break up, you make up a blind date with a Miss Zhou. Hilarious. Someone came over to chat with Fu Hao and, hearing Bai Ningbing's words, also looked at me with contempt. So this is the ex-boyfriend of our best actress. Good riddance, only a wealthy young master like Fu Hao deserves her. Fu Hao is truly a winner. Great business, great girlfriend, a perfect match. Flattered, Fu Hao grew cocky and actually said to me, He Ming, why don't you come work for my company? Since you're Bai Ningbing's ex, I'll set you up as a department supervisor, monthly salary over 10,000. More flattery followed. Fu Hao is so generous, turning enmity into friendship. What a big heart. Hey, you, hurry up and thank young Master Fu. Hearing them get more and more absurd, I pulled out my phone and called my assistant. Find out who's in charge of the Fu family right now. Tell him to get here immediately. My assistant, who had been with me for years and was quick on the uptake, immediately understood I meant Fu Hao's family and said, yes. Unexpectedly, Fu Hao laughed again. He Ming, you've been making my stomach ache with laughter today. You want to find my parents? But my dad isn't even in the country. He went abroad on business. Ha ha ha. I calmly toyed with my wine glass, staring coldly at Fu Hao. Others chimed in, this kid has no idea how high the sky is. Apologize to young Master Fu. Yeah, apologize. How dare you make things up about Mr. Fu? Fu Hao grew arrogant. Apologize now and I'll forgive you, he said. I sneered. Apologize? You're not worthy. Don't cry and beg me later. Perhaps because we were getting loud, a woman approached with a glass of wine. I think I've seen your photo somewhere. Are you Mr. He? Let me introduce myself. I'm Zhou Tianran. She gracefully clinked her glass with mine. I raised my glass and lightly touched hers. So this was Miss Zhou. She seemed around my age, clearly a refined lady. My mother had good taste. He Ming, is this another extra you hired tonight? How did you become like this? I was blind to have spent 3 years with you. Bai Ningbing glared at me angrily, her eyes full of disappointment. An extra. Zhou Tianran pointed at herself and laughed, looking at me. Mr. He, your taste is really something. I said apologetically to Zhou Tianran, Miss Zhou, I'm truly sorry for the trouble. This whole farce has gone on long enough tonight. He Ming, I don't know if you're the actor instead. Let's just part amicably. I'll ask Fu how to forgive you for offending his father. Hearing Bai Ningbing's words, I could only smile bitterly. I had hidden my wealth too well for her pride. Now, no matter what I said, she thought I was acting. Miss Bai, you probably have no idea what you're losing by breaking up with Mr. He, Zhou Tianran said mischievously. Of course I know what I'm losing. A freeloader. Miss Zhou, be careful he doesn't latch onto you, Bai Ningbing said earnestly. Zhou Tianran just shook her head with a smile. I didn't want to listen to Bai Ningbing's nonsense anymore. I checked my watch and called my assistant. Where's the person from the Fu family? Why isn't he here yet? Almost there, boss. We're at the hotel entrance, coming in now. At that point, the area around me had grown quiet, and everyone clearly heard my assistant's words. He Ming, you're getting more ridiculous by the minute. I gave you a face and you didn't want it. I'll wait and see who dares to pretend to be my father today. After today, no amount of pleading will help you. I ignored him and took another sip of wine. The crowd started murmuring again, but I couldn't be bothered. Before long, the door opened. "Let's see who my father is," Fu Hao said. But the person who walked in wasn't his father. It was Su Xiangqing, whom I'd been waiting for. Su Xiangqing was in a tailored suit, exuding an extraordinary aura. Nothing like the scruffy, unkempt, down-and-out director I'd known back then, who'd been desperate for investment. As soon as he entered, people swarmed him. "Director Su, have you finalized your next project?" "Director Su, congratulations on your success at the Golden Pig Awards." Su Xiangqing handled each greeting one by one, then pushed through the crowd and rushed over to me. "He Ming, I'm so glad you stayed. For your next film, invest a bit more, will you? I've got a new idea." He was practically throwing himself at me. Though many people were now willing to invest in him, he still preferred coming to me. His words, "Your money brings good luck." Fu Hao quickly stepped beside Su Xiangqing and shouted, "Director Su, don't be fooled by him. He's a con artist." "Director Su, let me introduce myself. I'm Bai Ningbing. We spoke before about auditioning for your new film, and you said we could meet tonight." Bai Ningbing walked over with poise, like a proud swan. "Director Su invited her personally? I'm so jealous. She's already a Golden Pig winner. With Director Su's film, she'll go straight to the top." Bai Ningbing is truly amazing. Envious murmurs rose around her. Bai Ningbing looked even more smug. But Su Xiangqing glanced at Bai Ningbing, then at me and said coldly, "Bai Ningbing, that project is off the table. Try other directors." Bai Ningbing looked thunderstruck. "Why? We had an agreement." "Miss Bai, when did we have an agreement? I only said we could meet and chat. Now that we've met, I see you're not suitable, so there's nothing more to discuss." Su Xiangqing turned back to me. "So what do you think? For the next one, I want to make something epic. I'll tell you the details later." Fu Hao, unable to bear Bai Ningbing's disappointment, grabbed Su Xiangqing. "Director Su, I can invest in your film, any amount. Just cast Bai Ningbing as the lead." Bai Ningbing looked at Su Xiangqing expectantly. "No, really, I can't. My investor doesn't want you. You're a best actress now. Go find another director." Su Xiangqing looked sincerely at Bai Ningbing. "Your investor? You don't mean He Ming, do you?" Bai Ningbing shouted agitatedly. "He's a fraud. He earns a few thousand a month. The apartment he lives in is rented by me. Where would he get money to invest?" Su Xiangqing looked stunned, his eyes darting between me and Bai Ningbing. After a long pause, he asked, "Are you playing some kind of cosplay, pretending to be poor? When did you pick up this hobby?" Su Xiangqing's rapid-fire questions left Bai Ningbing completely dumbfounded. At that moment, the banquet hall doors opened again. Everyone turned to look. Fu Hao's eyes went wide as he shouted, "Dad!" a shout that shocked everyone. "Dad, why are you here? Weren't you in America on business?" Fu Hao stared in shock at his father, Fu Jiangwo, who was wearing a bathrobe with lipstick marks still on his face, looking deeply embarrassed. "Why are you in a bathrobe, Dad? You lied to Mom and me about business, but you were actually with that woman. He Ming actually brought you here?" Fu Hao seemed to have short-circuited, unable to process the situation. Fu Jiangwo raised his hand and slapped him. "You piece of trash. You actually dared to steal Boss He's girlfriend? I've raised a curse of a son." Seeing I said nothing, Fu Jiangwo slapped him again, making the two sides of his face match. "Kneel and apologize to Boss He." Fu Jiangwo kicked Fu Hao, forcing him down with a thud. "Are you senile, Dad? Why should I kneel and apologize to him? The He family is our biggest client. You've offended Boss He today. If the He group stops buying our products, we'll both be eating wind. I'll make you lose your mind." Fu Jiangwo kept hitting Fu Hao. Fu Hao, bruised and swollen, looked at me incredulously. "You're from that He family? Why didn't you say so?" I said, "Should I call more extras? Want to check if your dad is wearing a mask?" I looked down at Fu Hao kneeling on the ground. My gaze was icy. Fu Hao trembled all over, unable to believe it. "No, this can't be. Why didn't you tell me earlier?" I then talked to his father. "Deputy Fu, your son here just offered me a job, a supervisor position at your company. 10,000 a month. What do you think? Should I take it?" Hearing me, Fu Jiangwo, still in his bathrobe, started beating and kicking Fu Hao again. "How dare you? You curse, you've ruined the Fu family. I'll beat you to death today." I watched for a while, then said, "All right, Deputy Fu. Children need early discipline. Educating them now might be too late." Fu Jiangwo quickly nodded. "Boss, he is right. I'll start training his younger brother today." "You're going to bring that bastard back home? How dare you?" Fu Hao started, but was knocked to the ground by another slap. "Shut up, you animal." "Boss He, considering that our Fu family has always supplied you diligently for so many years, please forgive us." I looked at Bai Ningbing. "This is the man you said is 100 times better than me?" Bai Ningbing recovered from her shock and came over to take my arm. "He Ming, why didn't you tell me you were from the He family? You lied that you were just a small employee." I pushed her hand away and said, "I never said I was a small employee. I just said I worked at a company. You assumed I was a lowly clerk. 3 years of relationship, and you didn't trust me, you only deceived me." Bai Ningbing looked aggrieved. "Stop," I raised my hand. "Don't play the victim. I didn't tell you because I thought you were being victimized by Fu Hao back then, and I was afraid you'd have psychological scars. If you'd told me you were half willing when he did that to you, I wouldn't have wasted all these years." Bai Ningbing's face flushed red and pale as she said, "But you should have told me you knew director Su and were a film investor." I immediately said, "Didn't I tell you? I just did." "You didn't believe me." She begged. "I was wrong, He Ming. I was really wrong." But I said, "One more thing. I specially prepared a proposal at home today. But my assistant has already thrown everything away. I'm leaving. This place isn't worth my time anymore." "Exactly, Miss Bai. We all told you, but you acted like you couldn't understand," Su Xiangqing added. His words seemed to confirm my story. The people who had mocked me earlier suddenly swarmed around to ingratiate themselves. "So you're Boss He. I'm sorry. I didn't recognize you earlier. Boss He, if your family needs a new supplier, would you consider mine? I thought you looked distinguished from the start, but I didn't dare speak with all the crowd. I listened to their flattery and found them amusing. They had been fawning over Fu Hao just moments ago. Now they changed completely. I didn't want to waste any more time on them." But Bai Ningbing suddenly screamed, ignoring her formal gown, and crouched down sobbing loudly. No one could make out what she was wailing. I took one last look at Bai Ningbing and left the banquet hall. Those 3 years were like feeding a dog. I went back to my parents' house. My mother saw I was in a bad state and didn't dare bring up the blind date, so I got a good night's sleep. Just after waking up, I got a call from my assistant saying Bai Ningbing and I were trending on social media. He asked if the PR department should suppress it. I told him not to. I also asked him to set up an account for me. After all, I'm a businessman. Why not ride the wave of attention? I wasn't the one in the wrong. As for Bai Ningbing, I no longer cared what happened to her. When I went online, I found that someone had filmed the previous night's events and posted them. Netizens were abuzz. Bai Ningbing pretended to be so innocent, but she's playing both sides. Impressive. Other actresses refused to be taken advantage of, but she actually wanted it. She'll do anything for fame. Did everyone notice? Boss, he is really handsome. My newly registered account gained a huge number of followers instantly. Though some of Bai Ningbing's fans cursed me, many of them praised me. I quickly posted a long article introducing the He Group. This was the era of self-media. Although the He Group was doing well, free traffic was too good to waste. As soon as the post went out, a flood of comments came in. Many who hadn't known about the He Group realized that brands they used daily were actually part of it, which gave the group a nice boost in publicity. Bai Ningbing fared much worse. She had been with me since graduation, extremely ambitious and bad-tempered on set, often bossing around her assistants and looking down on extras. Previously, she had been photographed throwing tantrums a few times, but the news had been suppressed with money. Now that her reputation had tanked, reporters released old videos of her diva behavior. Other journalists and marketing accounts, seeing that the He Group didn't send legal letters, gradually released more clips. Soon, the internet was flooded with videos of Bai Ningbing throwing fits, on set, at airports, in restaurants, all different scenes. Watching them, I realized she had actually held back around me. I'd been blind before. Initially, some fans tried to defend her, but as more videos surfaced, even they couldn't keep up. Then, female artists who had worked with her started coming forward with real-name accusations, saying Bai Ningbing had bullied them on set because she was the lead. Others, trying to curry favor with me, added fuel to the fire by exposing that her Golden Pig Award had been bought. The Golden Pig Award organizers quickly issued a statement acknowledging the error and said they would reclaim her award and conduct a revote, ensuring absolute fairness. Directors and producers who had supposedly been in talks with Bai Ningbing also came out to deny ever having contacted her. Even the luxury brand endorsements I had helped her secure publicly announced they were terminating her contracts and demanding penalty fees. Bai Ningbing's reputation completely collapsed, her fan club disbanded, and her agency terminated her contract. I lounged at home while my assistant gave me updates. Then there was a knock at my door. The housekeeper came to tell me, "A Miss Bai is at the door, saying she's your girlfriend. Do you want to see her?" I didn't even move and said, "No need, let her go." Shortly after, I received a text from Bai Ningbing. "He Ming, I truly know I was wrong. I know you still love me. Fu Hao isn't even a fraction of you. I've broken up with him. Please forgive me, don't blacklist me. I realized I'd forgotten to block her, so I blocked her immediately. As for a blacklist, there was really no need. Bai Ningbing was now a stranger to me. I wouldn't waste any more energy on her. Her reputation was already in ruins, and the compensation fees alone would crush her. Her acting was hardly irreplaceable. Even if I didn't actively blacklist her, she wouldn't have an easy time. If she managed to climb back up, that would be her fortune, and nothing to do with me. I transferred back the rent she had paid and the 100,000 yuan she gave me, as the final act of mercy. Though it was a drop in the bucket compared to her astronomical penalties, I wasn't going to give her more. I thought Bai Ningbing would fade out of my life, but a few days later, I saw her in the news again. She tearfully accused me of using my power to coerce her, claiming that all her leading roles were obtained by forcing her to accompany clients and sleep with them. In her narrative, she was just a tool I used for power sex trades to build my business empire. She even claimed that the dinner where she hooked up with Fu Hao 3 years ago was all my orchestration, that I was the villain, and it was all part of a grand scheme to raise the He Group's profile. My social media account was proof, and my mother was an evil mother-in-law who kept forcing her son to go on blind dates even though he had a girlfriend. These kinds of stories are exactly what netizens love, and the topic exploded. After watching her video, I laughed in anger and immediately called my assistant. Blacklist Bai Ningbing completely. Since she doesn't want to leave herself any way out, I don't need to leave her any room to survive either. Not long after, I received a text from an unknown number. He Ming, you bastard, did you lock my account? I blocked it again. After the public opinion had fermented enough, I compiled a large number of screenshots and posted them on my account. I had a habit of keeping chat records, and these screenshots were all evidence of me negotiating deals for Bai Ningbing. Though some were done over the phone, many were documented. The records showed me as sincere and professional, clearly making real efforts. Netizens overwhelmingly sided with me and sympathized with me for having wasted my love on an ungrateful person. Many even said they wanted to be my wife. I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. When the sentiment was right, I contacted my friend who owned the club and got the surveillance footage from 3 years ago. It clearly showed Bai Ningbing half-heartedly going along with Fu Hao, and also clearly captured me walking in another direction, hearing the commotion, seeing Fu Hao take her into the private room, and then hurrying back to get the door opened. Now netizens were completely on my side, praising me for being warm-hearted and righteous. Being praised so much made work more enjoyable. One day, as I was leaving the office, someone grabbed me. It was Fu Hao. I'd almost forgotten about him, but he'd tracked me down at my company. He told me he'd broken up with Bai Ningbing and that the Fu family would help blacklist her. He also said his father was kicking him out and begged me not to switch suppliers. He looked haggard, with stubble and dark circles, and his front teeth were missing, probably knocked out by his father. He was about to kneel. Clearly, he wasn't doing well, but that had nothing to do with me anymore. How his father treated him was their family matter. I didn't want to hear it. I told my secretary not to let him into the He Group building again. As for suppliers, we would of course reevaluate and choose new ones, but there was no need to tell him that. I had sold the apartment I'd lived in with Bai Ningbing, and I hadn't cleaned up any other houses, so I'd been staying at my parents' place. Driving home, my mother scolded me as soon as she saw me. I told you to listen to me and go on that blind date, but you didn't. Now you're the laughingstock of the internet. A laughingstock? I see everyone praising me, I said while eating fruit. Chatterbox. Our He family has been talked about endlessly because of that girl. I didn't even know you were dating, and I've become the evil mother-in-law online. My mother looked wronged. She had urged me to date because she truly thought I was single. It was my own fault. I'd been too afraid of hurting Bai Ningbing's feelings to introduce her. Why don't you go after Miss Zhou? She's a good girl, same alma mater as you. Her parents and I know each other well. I wouldn't steer you wrong. My mother grew anxious, so I had to agree. But honestly, having just gone through such a public breakup, I wasn't keen on jumping into another relationship. To my surprise, Zhou Tianran called me and asked to meet. As soon as we met, she said, "He Ming, let's get married." I spat out my coffee. What? We just met? Zhou Tianran smiled calmly and said, "We're similar in age, education, and social standing. We're both single right now. There couldn't be a more suitable match." I asked her, "With the recent news, can your family accept me?" I wiped the coffee off the table and steadied myself. She responded, "My parents are reasonable. It's not your fault, so they won't mind. And of course I don't mind." I said nothing. Zhou Tianran continued, "The Zhou family rules say I can only access my funds after marriage. I'm eager to put my money to good use. Consider it." Hearing this, I said, "I'll think about it." She said, "You really should. I'm confident I'm the most suitable spouse for you." Your parents must be pressuring you too. This marriage is a win-win. I admit her last point swayed me. We quickly got our marriage license and held a wedding. Zhou Tianran was indeed a suitable partner, just as she'd said. After marriage, she received her substantial funds, drew up a detailed business plan, and came to me for investment. I found it interesting and gave her some capital. She did brilliantly, and she regularly reported progress to me. I gradually became more involved. It felt like her company was our shared child, growing from nothing. Sometimes I'd even proactively help her with negotiations. One day at a business dinner, the client brought in some hostesses to accompany the drinks. One of them leaned in, and I was about to push her away when I noticed she looked familiar. For this award, the organizers originally favored another actress. I spent money and personally entertained clients to secure it for her. It was her. I'd long since stopped thinking about this person, and now she was working at a club. Bai Ningbing also recognized me. Boss, I heard you got married. I suddenly felt disgusted. I excused myself with a nod to the client and left. When I got home, Zhou Tianran had actually arrived later than me and was dead drunk. As soon as she saw me, she pounced. "Senior, I really like you," I asked in response. "Which senior?" I helped her to the sofa and wiped her face with a towel. I heard her mumbling on the sofa. He took the towel and then forgot about me. My heart suddenly jolted. I remembered back in college, during a basketball game, a girl had given me a towel to wipe my sweat. Later, I wanted to find her to return the favor, but I never did, and eventually I went back abroad. The blurry face from my memory gradually merged with the Zhou Tianran in front of me. I cupped her face and gently kissed her, saying, "Senior likes you too."